Hello, good morning. My name is Efraín León, and today I'm going to be in favor of social media as the best way to improve human communication. I need to.
Justify.
Okay. I say this because social media has been a really great way in which we as people can meet other people and make a lot of new friends and research a lot of new information and find a lot of new people that we can communicate with. And that's why I think that it is to be considered as the best way to improve human communication.
B.
Good morning, my name is Andrea Herrera, and today I'm going to state why social media should not be a way of communication, or at least not the principle. There's a famous saying that not everything is rainbows and unicorns. Where there's good, there's bad. So social media is not the exception. The Columbia University exposed that social media can cause low self-esteem, cyberbullying, addictions, misinformation, disrupt sleep, privacy concerns, scams, envy, the list goes on. El País, the newspaper, informs that Mexico is in the top 10 countries that have the most cyber attacks in a year, with 1,000 reports. And in the world, there's 800,000 cases every year, which is the majority of them financial frauds. This has led to a 13% increase of mental health problems in the world, informed by the World Health Organization. So we can say that people don't know where their information ends up in, and neither their mental health. Thank you.
Now we're ready for round 2, where students reviewed their opponent.
First, I want to say that while it's true that there is a lot of sketchy things going on social media, it's also a great way that we can use to communicate. For example, during the pandemic, social media was a really good way to communicate with our family members that were in other countries or in other states, like Zoom and WhatsApp, and all those social media were really useful. And then another thing you said was that Mexico was one of the biggest cyberbullying countries. But that is also because you can just block the users that cyberbully you, and you will stop getting cyberbullied, I think. And social media is a really good way to find other people, to share what you like. For example, during the Black Lives Movement and the Me Too, social media was a great way for people to learn about these things going on and and what they can do to fix it. And I think that is a really useful way. And also, like for example, Facebook is another social media that is very useful for all people that they use to communicate with their friends because they only use Facebook. So in Facebook, they communicate via Facebook. Like their old friends, like your grandma or your aunt, they communicate via Facebook, and that is a really good use of social media to see other people that you don't normally see. And I think that why it's a good thing in social media, and we can both improve our communication in the long run.
B.
You talked about how it is always like a place to share with people and share information, etc. But it is also a way of attacking people. Where there's liberty, there's also this kind of danger where everyone has that liberty. So everyone can have an opinion about everything you post, and yes, you can block them, but I think that it could, it is a burden kind of way for people because they are not prepared to receive, like, from one day to another, a viral attack, or they can have they can be lost in social media and receive a financial attack that could be worse. So I think that's why we should be against.
Now we come to round 3, where the audience asks questions. Let's start with the shoot side.
Okay, so my question is, even though social media has been a great form of communication, it is also true that it could be very dangerous.
Okay.
My question is, how can we regulate the positive and negative sides of social media without restricting or leaving out what makes it a space of socialization?
I think that a good way could be by making private accounts to only accept people that you know to follow you. And not accept to like a public account with strangers, and that could be a good way to only get people you know, so you know that you won't get bad comments or hate or something like that in social media.
Should not.
You mentioned that increase there is like the consequence of the social media can cause the mental health. But what is the main cause you consider that is affecting the mental health for the people who use social media?
Well, according to the World Health Organization, because there's a lot of pictures and influence that people can have on others, they feel anxiety and depression. So this really hits in their mental health, and because there has been an increase in mental health problems, they are not ready to receive all these. So to have one day just the opinion of your friends or your family, to the next day having the opinion of the whole internet, I think that's what is causing these problems.
Thank you. Now we've come to round 4 for final remarks.
I start. Yours.
Q&A.
Okay. So for final remark, I want to say that while I get some of your points, and I think that they're true, I also think that social media is really a good way, and that we should try to improve it and make it better instead of just shutting it down. Because there are a lot of countries that try to shut down social medias or like block them, like in Brazil they blocked down Twitter and TikTok. And then instead of blocking them, I think that we need to work to make them better and a safer place, so it can really be the best way to improve human communication.
B.
Because the 63.7% of global population is on the internet, according to the University of Maine. I think that yes, it has its dangers, and we should be aware of this information and tips to avoid anything. But yes, it could be a place of information, like positive information and good purposes. But we should stay aware of making new laws and agreements to prevent all possible dangers.
Thank you very much. You may take your seats. You can go back to your seats. Thank you. Now let's go